County Councillor Atkinson, you've hosted Nigel Farage here today at County Hall. That must be a bit of a pinch-me moment considering where you came from, well, where you were just 3 months ago, the Conservative leader of Ribble Valley.
Absolutely amazing. You've seen yourself, the energy that he brings, the focus, the way he energises the troops. I mean, I actually think he's an amazing politician, probably the greatest one we've had in the last 30 years. And I think if he gets into power, we're going to see great things for this country.
I actually asked him whether his heart was really in places like Lancashire County Council, or did he see it as a means to an end, to the national or a greater presence on the national stage than he already has. Do you get the sense that that's what's going on here, or do you believe that reform really is trying to establish itself in local government for reasons other than trying to advance Nigel Farage's career?
Absolutely, it's committed to local government. You know, what they've achieved with these 450 branches, the local associations, have allowed us to win these 10 councils and be the majority party in 3 others. And I think that local government is a great training ground for political parties in terms of allowing people to understand the processes and the separation of powers, etc. So I think local government is really important to reform. It'll be the base that supports the party.
You had your cabinet assembled to greet Mr Farage. Are you proud of the team you have assembled? Because, I mean, a lot of them not got any council experience.
Fantastic team. These are people that have deep knowledge and care deeply about what happens in their portfolios. I actually think that it's the strongest team I've ever been involved in.
Do you think stronger for them not having a political background?
I think their life experiences, their skill sets, and the enthusiasm. I think they all come together to make a formidable team.
Nigel Farage confirmed that Doge, as it's called, coming into County Hall next week. Last week at Cabinet, there was an official report of the council going through about an efficiency review. Are they 2 separate processes in your mind?
I think they can work together, but there has to be obviously we seek advice and support from our national party, which is what Doge is, well, like any party would, whether it was the Labour Party or the Conservatives. And then we have to govern the council separately to that. And I think what we've got to do is take the best of Doge and take the best of the council and bring them together so that we can deliver more money to frontline services. And that's what this is all about in the end.
How will Doge feed into that efficiency review? Will there be some kind of bulwark? Because it wouldn't be right for a party political appointed team to be bestriding through County Hall when there hasn't been a council decision to approve that, would there?
Yeah, well, that's the scoping meeting next week is to set out all of those issues around data protection, etc., and to find a route that respects the council's constitution and how it operates, as well as using the benefits of the skill set within the Doge.
There were £103 million worth of savings already identified as being needed by the previous Conservative administration over the course of the next 2 years. Now, that's just to balance the books. You're not going to be able to go beyond that, are you, to reinvest, as you say, in services? It's just going to be a matter of balancing the books.
That is our biggest priority, is to make sure we have a balanced budget. Because if we don't, we lose control of the council. Commissioners come in, stop all discretionary services, and Lancashire residents don't want that. But what I do think is there's some things we can improve upon, such as procurement. Tier 1, we're really against Tier 1 contractors who basically take overhead and profit and then subcontract the work to other companies. And we may need some resources in procurement to allow us to have more direct relationships with local companies, with companies that bring money into the local economy. So I think we've got to, I mean, that would all be within the procurement rules, but I do think we've got to look carefully at procurement. I think there's big opportunities there.
You obviously need to identify savings within the individual services. Your adult services cabinet members said there was a £23 million savings target, I think, for adult services over the course of the next year. He seemed very confident that will be hit. There was a £34 million savings target last year and only £3 million of it was hit. It's not as easy as reform politicians are trying to make out, is it?
Well, those savings plans were set by the previous administration, so you're right. we don't know how achievable they are, because they weren't our decision. And I made that very clear through the campaign, that we had real concerns that the 50 million that should have been saved last year has been rolled over into 103 million pounds saving over the next 2 years. But we've only been in post in an executive level for 3 weeks. So give us a bit of time, Paul, and we'll come back to you and we'll tell you how we're going to do it.
What kind of time frame are you looking at in terms of when you'll be able to sort of set out a medium-term plan?
Probably towards the autumn, we will have done the detailed work by then, and that gives us plenty of time to do in-year changes, but also to do changes to the budget setting process for next year.
If I'd have called Nigel Farage a Maverick, I imagine he would have taken it as a badge of honour as a politician. I don't think you describe yourself as a Maverick, would you? It's interesting you say no, because my question was going to be, are you not at some point going to be trapped in a bit of a pincer movement between your own sort of small C conservative instincts and the big brash reform bandwagon that's, you know, coming through and cocking a snook at everything?
No, not at all. I mean, I think politics now is really not about left and right. It's about the national interest versus the global interest. And I think Reform are the only party that puts the national interest first. And that's what British people want. And I'm 100% committed to that.
I asked Nigel Farage what he hoped Lancashire County Council taxpayers would be able to see after 12 months of a reform administration. Without telling you what he said, what do you hope they will see?
Well, we need to understand the spending review. We'll not get those figures.
That's the National Spending Review.
The National Spending that was announced yesterday by Rachel Reeves. We'll not get how that impacts on Lancashire until November, December this year. That could be good, it could be bad, it could be indifferent. Until we have that, we really can't commit to what the budget will be next year.
Councillor Atkinson, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.